Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, I spend my time on the workshop looking for the new maps, the new releases, the classy maps, the quality. But occasionally, there's one trending up there that's been around a while. Now, this one was released back in September of 2018, and I'm going to be honest with you, it is a somewhat simplistic map, a basic map. But simplistic basic maps have their place. There are players out there looking for them, and we're going to have a look at this one. There's nothing really too much wrong with it actually, and for those of you looking for this sort of map, I think you're going to be really pleased. But those looking for a finely tuned piece of work, a beautiful aesthetic piece, you're going to be a little disappointed. But there's a map for everybody, and everybody has a map inside of them. That's right, having a map inside of you really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you very much for your support. Today's map is红河谷version 1 by CN-chengdu. That translates as Red River Valley, and I'm going to call it Red River Valley throughout the show, apart from right at the very end where I will announce its name again very badly. There's your start square. That looks very workable indeed. Terrain heights look like that. It's very flat apart from the hills. Yeah, of course it's very flat apart from what else is it going to be? And then you have resources that are bold and strong, and I have zero complaints with that at all. Very neat. Okay, if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing resources will look like this. Right, okay, let's have a little look at the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a 100% vanilla map, no DLC required. We'll be using the vanilla temperate theme and the realistic 1.2 LUTs, although you can use whatever you like. Okay, are you ready? Are you set? Let's go down the ground level. So, reasonable standards today. We're going to call it a fantasy map because the river network doesn't really fit with a realistic layout. The hills are a bit blonky, and the intersections are a little bit creative in places, which sometimes, some ways, go against the map. In some ways, you can say it's okay. We've also got some gradients on the rail, the up and overs with the bridges, which again won't suit for the realists. But for a base game player, again, won't have any problems with this. Our first intersection, probably the most mundane of all of the intersections we'll see today. It's a plopped vanilla wishbone, and it's perfectly lovely. If you can call a vanilla wishbone perfectly lovely, that's what we've got going on there. Then we have an up and over bridge. We've got a little bit of encroaching foliage there, a little bit of weeding that needs doing. That's what happens when you have trees underneath your bridge. You always risk a bit of that. Now, speaking of bridges, we've got perfectly aligned pylons here, and then we're out of alignment here and here. Is it a problem? Probably not, but some of you won't like it, and it's always nice to have it a little bit more polished, isn't it, I feel? This is a raised cloverleaf. We don't often see elevated cloverleafs, and that's been very nicely done as well. Can't really complain about this one too much. It looks a bit untidy, but it's technically speaking, it's perfectly fine. Now, I've just noticed we've got 4-laned highways here. Now, I'm not going to go back into the game, but I've got the feeling this is a mass transit map. I've got a bad feeling this is a mass transit map. It's either that or Network Extensions 2, and I'm looking at that and I'm saying that that is mass transit. So, okay, that's going to change things a little bit. Now, let's talk about creative intersections. Right, what we have here is a creative intersection. It's obviously hand-built. It's got something to say about it as well, like here. The traffic flows in neatly and loops around and under, and here it'll flow out and up and out. But you're going to have traffic backing onto each other in this location, which is a bit untidy. Plus we have a rail which goes up and over. Now surely we could have had this road going up and over the rail rather, as it was already elevated, rather than have the rail go up and over it. There's some fine tuning could be done with this intersection, is all I'm basically saying. We've got a little bit of tree clipping there as well, and a little bit of encroaching foliage over here too. And then we have a bit more encroaching foliage here, and then 8 lanes into 4, and I'm looking at that. That is definitely a mass. This is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Okay, so okay, that's made me sad. Not that you need mass transit, but it's not declared. Oh, that's how you ruin a map. That is just how you ruin a map. You need to declare these things on the workshop. Somebody without mass transit loading up this map would be very sad. Oh, hang on, we've got a little bit of terrain alignment issue with the highways. Could be cleaned up. Not a huge problem. I think we'll see worse a little bit later on as well than that, but that's okay. It's fine. It doesn't break things as much as not declaring mass transit on the workshop. Okay, down into the start square kind of territory, and it's a pretty reasonable, strong start square. We've got an elevated wishbone. It's bold. It's very bold indeed. Climbing down to ground with a clump right there. And somewhere in the start square, we will have, this is very nice. This is a first asset. It's a My First Asset. I don't have a sound effect for My First Asset. It's Edinburgh Townhouse by, I don't know if this is Noizzer or Noizzer. I'm going with Noizzer. I like the sound of Noizzer. There's two of them side by side here. I put them together to show you that you can terrace them. And in fact, if you go to Edinburgh, they will look terraced because they are terraces. Factoids because factoids while we're here. On today's date, the 24th of June in 1813, Henry Ward Beecher, who was a religious leader and also divine, apparently, according to this, was born. He was born on this date. In 1874, he was involved in a huge scandal where he was charged with adultery. Beecher claimed in court that God had willed him to have sex with the woman, and he was eventually acquitted. Oh, yes. God told me to do her, so I did. Edinburgh Townhouse by Noizzer. Today's asset of the day, back to Red River Valley. Of course, Red River Valley is where we are. A very clunky looking bridge coming up. Again, these are clunky. These aren't horrific at all, but they are clunky. These are basic vanilla standards, and better than some of the bridges you will see from more famous creators, such as people that make maps, such as people that make the game. Oh, some of those base vanilla bridges way back that come with the original were, ugly. Ugly. Anyway, we've got a rail terminus going on there. That is, while it's intricate and fun, that is also a little bit ugly, if I say so. But it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's all a bit of fun. It's all a lot of fun. And gameplay is what this would be all about. Now, this one I'm talking about the terrain elevation. All this was elevated highways as well. Going to an elevated highway there, coming down to ground with a bump. It's a little untidy. It's a little bit messy, but also out of the 25 tiles, so not going to be seen by anybody playing a base game rules. Or vanilla rules, as I used to say. Now, the rail is very up and over and roller coaster going on here. Well, not one, not two, but 3 trains all at once. I think this is a Watts map record. I think it is, actually, considering these people do city builds. You expect to have lots of trains coming in and out, but having 3 trains all in the one spot all at the same time, I don't think we've seen that in any of the previous 900 and whatever we are, 950 something episodes. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, can you crawl through all of those 950 episodes and show me where I'm wrong? That'd be very helpful. Thank you very much. Okay, a little bit of encroaching foliage on the underside of that elevated rail, and we are now cruising off towards the fog. So what we'll do is we'll come back and do the shipping after these messages.
Are you fed up with random vanilla buildings spawning in random locations? Do you want a specific type of building in a particular zone? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Theme Management. Click the information button below.
And so back to Red River Valley by CN-chengdu and the shipping routes. Those bridges are a little bit low for vanilla shipping, and it'll affect people that care about bridges being a little bit on the low side. But those of you that don't care, it won't affect you. And that is where the line is going to be drawn today. Do you care or not? There we have some right angle turnings. Again, will that affect you? Only if you actually care about it. And then we have shipping again, which will go crunching through some more bridges over here. And some more bridges all the way over there as well. We've got shipping routes, and there are plenty of them, and they go everywhere that you would want them. The bridges go everywhere you probably don't want them, unless you don't care. Water flow. Right, there are no water spawn points. It is all edge of map water flow, but we actually have a decent water flow running across pretty much the entirety of the map. There is going to be a null zone, which there will always be in the middle of a map where you have water pushing in from all angles. But this is just start square here. You've got water flow running up there, and just trying to work out where the null zone is. It's coming back this way. About here maybe. How about... I found a dead zone here. So yes, it's kind of close to the start square. But about there actually. Roundabouts here. So yeah, it's close to start square, but you should be able to avoid it if you're wanting to pump into those rivers. We've got plenty of build space. The flat land is flat land. It is definitely made for building. And we've got all these interesting river shapes and lake shapes. They're going to force you away from the grid system, which is always makes for a lot of fun gameplay. What can I tell you? We've got this little lake over here. Do you like the feature in the lake? It's like a crescent moon island. It's a neat little thing. And we've got another little island over here with an essential lighthouse. It's there for fun, just for fun. A little bit of water glitcheroony going on right here. Vanilla rocks don't play very well with water. Right, what else can we tell you? Well, let's say some good shapes of rivers. We've got some good tree detailing. Considering these are all the vanilla trees, there's a good mashup of colours here. I'm liking the way these come together. It breaks it up. We've even got the foliage here, and we've got the logs as well. Plenty of them. Possibly too many, arguably too many, but fine. And right up against the edge of the map, there's a couple of spots where we have the foliage, which is just pushing up against the edge of the map, causing this spike up the side of the view. So we just drag that back a little bit, grab it, drag it back, that removes that, push it in, drag it out, push it in, it's fine. There is another one that does that, and that is visible from all the way across the map if you've got any of that going on. Now, there is something else I want to show you. I probably just saw the other one on the left a moment ago. Now, the tree mix is great, apart from on these hills here. These hills here just have the one tree, and it's almost like they forgot to finish it. It's just the one that is like this. It just feels a little bit left out. Anyway, we're about done. What do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button in the top right hand corner of your screen now. We'll take you across to the voting page where you can sign in with your Facebook, your Gmail, this YouTube account, or your own free Patreon account. Right, what do I think of this map? Aesthetically, it's okay. I can't find anything wrong with it. I don't find the mountains particularly ugly. It is very vanilla, but it's an interesting set of shapes. I don't dislike it at all, but I can't give it a 4th star. It's 3 stars. Detailing, on the whole, fairly solid. I don't have really that many grumbles with it at all. The bridges could be higher. And we have got a little patch of trees that are missing a little bit, and of course a little bit of glitchy water with the rocks, but you know what, it still sits in 3-star category, so 3 stars is what it gets. Gameplay potential, I was going to give this a rock solid 4 stars. I think it's definitely a map made for gameplay. Unfortunately, the lack of mass transit on the workshop means that for most people this game will be broken, and it leaves me with no option but toward just the 1 star. So, Hong Her Hu, the Red River Valley, version 1 by CN-chengdu. That is a lot of fun. I think it has got a lot of fun written through it. And early days, I think we probably all would have enjoyed that map. Right, so we are just about the end of today's show. If you are still with me, you are part of the 20 and out elite, those that hang around for the last 20 seconds. Use the word on the screen now, it's actually in the map title, so it should be easy, in the comments to show that you are indeed a member of the elite, and score yourself 100 population points as well. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Thanks for watching.